So if I had to start all over again and get to $10,000 per month, what would I do exactly? Online, you'll find countless ways of making money online. But the truth is, not everyone is actually trying to help you. A lot of people are actually trying to mislead you on purpose. They want you to believe every single business opportunity is the same. I'm here to tell you the truth. And the truth is that not every business opportunity is equal. To start some businesses, you'll need a lot of money. But the worst part about it is that you won't actually make that much in profit, and especially after tax with those same businesses. They take a lot of time, they're difficult to start, there's a lot of competition, the market is oversaturated, and you're gonna make pennies. Yet those same business models are sold as the best possible ways to make money online. And at the same time, we can see the opposite happening. Some business models, there's less competition, they're easier to start, they require less money, and you have higher profit margins. Yet those businesses, barely anyone are speaking about those. Why? Because they don't sound as fancy, they don't sound as cool, but they work. Now the first thing I would do, if I were to start from scratch all over again, is to reprogram my brain to condition it to become successful. Now we don't want to be like the die-hard fans of The Secret and of the Law of Attraction. We're not just gonna sit there, visualize all day long, have a 10-hour long morning routine, and just wish for things to happen. And because we have positive affirmations, it's gonna happen, because that is simply not the case. And in fact, many studies have shown that visualization actually has the opposite effect. Now fair enough, if you're an athlete, you visualize practicing your craft, getting better at it. Like let's say you're practicing free throws. If you visualize yourself doing it, you'll actually get better in the real world. That is completely true. However, most people when they visualize, they don't visualize the process, they don't visualize doing the work, they visualize having an outcome. They visualize sitting at the beach, relaxing, driving a Ferrari, making millions of dollars, having the love of their life. But they don't visualize themselves in front of their computer screen, typing away endlessly for hours on end. They don't visualize themselves starting a Zoom meeting and having a sales call with a potential customer. Now, if you're wondering why this type of visualization is actually killing your goals, preventing you from getting every single thing you've ever dreamed of in life, it is for one simple reason only. Your brain is incapable of telling the difference between something that happens in your imagination and something that happens in the real world. Now, if you don't believe me, answer this question. When you wake up in the middle of the night, you've just had a nightmare. You feel scared, right? You're genuinely afraid. Sometimes people don't even dare get out of bed. They just put the blankets over their head and try to forget whatever the hell happened. But your heart is beating faster. Your breathing is rough. You might even feel sweaty. You don't like that feeling. You feel fear. How come this happens? It's because your brain cannot tell the difference between something that is happening in your imagination as opposed to something that is happening in the real world. So if you visualize yourself having all of the things that you've always wanted, all it's going to do is to signal to your brain you have achieved those things. Yeah, you have the Ferrari, you're a successful man, you have all the money, you've got a loving relationship, and so now you won't be as driven to work as hard, to fight as hard. At some point when mindset routines were very popular all over YouTube, I fell for the trap of visualizing like everyone else, but I always hated it. I would just sit down in the morning and as a part of my morning routine visualize having what I wanted, but it made me feel bitter, resentful, because I didn't have those things. I visualized having them, but I didn't, even though I was working hard every single day, so I felt bad. And I had a vision board too, because at some point it was the popular practice. But then I achieved some of the things that I put on my vision board, and I realized I didn't need to put them on the vision board, because by doing that, I put them on a pedestal. By looking at it constantly every day, I told myself, it's this big, massive thing I'll maybe achieve one day, but it's like deep down I didn't really believe it. You need to normalize your goals. They need to become hygiene standards, because you won't reach your goals. However, you will never dip below your lowest hygiene standards. If for you making $100,000 a month it is a hygiene standard, you're never gonna fall beneath that. However, if it's a dream, if it's impossible to achieve, if it's this massive thing, guess what? It's gonna take you decades of slave-like hours. It might even take you your whole life, and maybe you won't even get there. So while we don't want to fall for this excessive law of attraction thinking, we still want to believe that we can achieve our goals no matter what, because everything that drives your actions, it is your beliefs. If you don't believe that you can become successful, you're never gonna start a business. If you have a job, you want to get a promotion. If you don't believe that you can do it, guess what? You'll never put in the work to actually get the promotion. Back then when I had very poor social skills, I struggled with talking to people. I thought I couldn't do it, so I didn't even try. The same thing was true in my romantic relationships. I thought I didn't deserve love, so I didn't try to talk to people. I didn't even try to make friends. But one day I got sick and tired of it. Ever since I was a kid, I've always been a very ambitious guy. I've always wanted to achieve big things. And I knew that this attitude of being scared to do things, of refusing to face my fears, to get out of my comfort zone, it was gonna keep me exactly where I was. And back then, trust me, I was in hell. And if you know what it's like, you know how painful it is. And that is why from this day forward, you need to become utterly convinced that you can make $10,000 per month too. Honestly, you need to get pissed off a bit. You might take a look at my Instagram, or you take a look at the Instagram of popular influencers. They're living the best life, traveling the world whenever they want, making millions of dollars. They have everything. Why couldn't that be you? Do you think they were all smarter, more talented? They just decided at some point that they deserved it and that they were gonna take action and get to that level too. Like, close your eyes for a moment. Picture your ideal life. Everything you've ever wanted. You can travel anytime you want. If you want to fly fly business class or even in a private jet. You can. You've done the work, you've earned the money. Now you make so much money, honestly you can't even spend it all. You can take the love of your life to the best restaurant in the city. Take that person with you on the most beautiful places on earth, in the best hotels, see the most beautiful landscapes on earth. You can retire your parents. You can buy your dad the car he's always wanted. You can tell your mother she'll never have to work ever again. Help your brothers and sisters to achieve their dreams. But what's more, you wake up every single day knowing you deserved all of it because you worked hard for it. You wake up every single day knowing you'll never have to get a job. You'll never have to work for a boss who doesn't care about you and who couldn't care less about you. Now open your eyes. All of this could be yours, but I'll be completely honest with you. It's gonna take so much more hard work and it's gonna be longer than you think. But if you have it in you, if you truly want it, you'll find a way to get it. The truth is, most people would have clicked off this video by now because they simply don't have the attention span to hear real good life advice. But we're sitting next to each other and we're having a conversation. Most people, if they want to go watch some BS entertaining thing on YouTube, if they want to go scroll on social media, fine, let them. If they can't focus for 2 minutes, let them. I mean, I hope that you realize that just by watching this video right now, you are ahead of 99% of people already. Like, that's one thing that people don't realize. This is the success paradox. Nowadays, more than ever, it's never been easier to win in the entire history of mankind. Why? Because nowadays we have the internet, we have social media. You can start a business for $0 or as close to it as it gets. And even if you wanted to invest some money, you might lose at worst $5,000. With university, you'd lose $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. So when you get a job, if you even manage to get a job, you start life with minus $200,000. You start life with a negative balance. I know I personally could not sleep peacefully at night if I had debts. I don't care if experts say it's good debt to invest in real estate or this or that, but I could not sleep peacefully at night if I owed someone money. Because at the end of the day, you need to realize this. When you owe someone money, they have control over your life. If you can't pay them back for some reason, your investment fails, you can't repay that debt for some reason, you don't manage to get a job, you're screwed. Your life is gonna be hell. You'll be forced to take the worst jobs just to pay them back. The only one who's actually winning in that equation, it's the person lending you money. And that's why things like investing in bonds or peer-to-peer lending, it's great when you have money because people will pay you money with interest on top. It's kind of like if you were to be a mini bank yourself, but you never want to be the one having the debt. And the worst thing that people do is like consumer debt. They want to buy a better car so they look richer, but they can't even afford it, so they get massively in debt for it. Because most people are not patient. They're not willing to roll up their sleeves and for months and for years do the boring hard work. And one day they'd have that car. They could buy it cash in fact. But no, they want it right now. They want to impress all of their friends, even if it means getting massively in debt. And most people make stupid decisions, and that is exactly why they'll never move forward. They'll always stay stuck exactly where they are. But you know better than that. Now the next thing I'd do, I would set the goal to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. In fact, within the next 12 months. Now I'll be honest with you, for the first 12 months, you might only make $100, but you've got to be ready for that. And that is exactly why most people, they'll quit. But they don't understand that on month 13, they could make $10,000 per month. Most people don't understand how growth works. They think it has to be this linear growth curve. But linear growth is actually horrible. It means you only ever get the same rate of growth every month, every year. So while it feels better in the short term, with exponential growth, you might not see results for a year. But then, when you start to see results, believe me, it's gonna rain. Now, if you wanted to get to $10,000 per month with a traditional career, it would take you your entire life to get there. If you even manage to get there. Because you'd need to get hired for the best jobs. You'd need to become a CEO, a CFO in very big companies. And least to say that plenty of people are fighting for that top position. The competition is ruthless. Everyone wants to take your spot. Not to mention that a lot of people, they don't have access to those opportunities anyway. I mean, if you're like me, you grew up in a small town, surrounded with drug dealers, with criminals, no opportunities, poverty, literally. It would take you all of your life to get to that point where you actually make 10k per month. So that's exactly why to get to $10,000 per month, if I was starting from scratch all over again, I wouldn't go and try to pursue a high-paying career. Because even if I got to making, let's say, 10k per month, 120k per year, sure, I'd make 6 figures a year. I could drive a nice car, let's say a Benz, an Audi, a Tesla. And a lot of people would look at me, think I'm extremely successful, and maybe it would boost my ego a bit. But the truth is, I'd be miserable. I'd be working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, replying to work emails, taking meetings on the weekends, but my income potential would always be capped. Now try to find a job that pays you $300,000 per month every single month. Honestly, good luck if you manage to actually find one. Because you won't. It's impossible. And that is why you need to start a business. That's what I did. All the 20-year-olds, the 30-year-olds that became millionaires, all those people you see them on social media, how did they do it? Did they invest in 401k? Did they invest in real estate all of their lives? Did they save money? Did they follow the career route, slowly climb the corporate ladder year after year for all of their lives? Obviously not. They started an online business. And I'm not talking about the trust fund babies, those don't count. I'm talking about the people like you and I who had nothing and actually managed to reach the top. How did they do it? Like I said, they started a business. But if you were to start a brick and mortar business, a hair salon, a gym, a spa, it would take you hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars in startup capital to open up that business. Now, I don't know about you, but when I got started, I didn't have that kind of money. And if you take a look at what happened with the recent lockdowns all over the world, a lot of small business owners had to shut down their doors. They declared bankruptcy. They couldn't keep up. People couldn't go outside. They were forced to stay stuck at home. So what did they do all day, they were on social media, they were using the internet. And more businesses realized we need to go online, we need an online presence. And a lot of smart people, they took advantage of it. Instead of going on social media, browsing TikTok endlessly, watching health fitness girls on Instagram, or whatever the hell people do on social media these days, they actually started an online business. They reached out to businesses and said, I can build your website, I can start helping you make money, I can get you leads and customers, even if your store is closed. And guess what? Those people now, they make 10k per month while you're still broke. Now, if I wanted to get to 10k per month all over again as quickly as possible, I wouldn't invest in the stock market or in real estate. Why? Because it takes so long to build up wealth with those methods. And the truth is, those tools are not meant to help the average person become a millionaire. It is meant to make the rich even richer. If you invest $100 in the stock market, yeah, it might take you 60 years to make $1 million. Is it really worth it? Who knows if you'll even be alive in 60 years? You could make that money now while you're young. Not every year of life is equal. When you're 88 years old, you need someone to help you to go to the bathroom, to wipe your own. You get my point. The quality of your life is a lot worse than right now when you're 20, 25, 30, 35. The school system and society in general makes us think it's okay to waste time. It's okay to waste time on social media every day, to play video games, or to spend countless years in university studying for a pointless degree, spending so much money to get that degree and maybe not even get a job, that we have normalized wasting time. But I'll tell you this, you don't have time. If you don't get started today, someone else is gonna get started anyway. They're gonna make money, you won't. So why couldn't it be you? Why couldn't you be free? What more do they have that you don't? Now, in my free time, I'd make it a priority to read more books about business and how money works. Because if you take the financial advice of most of the people around you, of your parents, of your teachers, of your advisors, chances are they're broke. So why would you take financial advice from them? They've never opened up a book on how to make more money. They've never tried to start up an online business. All they've done is work the same job for the same amount of money every single month, every single year for 20 years straight. Get 2 weeks of vacations per year and complain that they don't have enough. But they never try to do anything different. And that's why as a kid I knew, if I want to become rich, I need to learn from rich people. I need to surround myself with the best and learn from millionaires directly. But obviously I couldn't pay mentors. I didn't even have access to mentors physically. So I just bought books. I started with things like Rich Dad Poor Dad. But if you want to get different results, you will need to play the game of life by different rules. Most people are following the rules they've been taught all of their lives. Go to university, get a good job, pay a mortgage, pay 70% plus taxes, be happy, die, boom. That's life. What if you want more? What if you never want to have to sweat over the price tag of anything? What if you want to provide for the people that you love? What if you want to wake up every single morning, do something that you love, feel proud and fulfilled? With the cookie cutter path they're trying to push onto you, that's impossible. Now you want to forget about all of the fads, investing in cryptos, in NFTs, all that stuff. If you have a lot of money, you want to waste 10% of your income, let's say, on crypto, on NFTs, because who knows, you might hit it big, you might win the jackpot, and you might 10x your investment. But a lot of people, they invested their life savings into crypto, into NFTs, and they lost everything. Now tell me, how is that a wise financial decision? When you're rich, you buy assets because you have the money to do so, but you do so to protect yourself from inflation and to get richer from inflation. Because who does inflation benefit? The rich, people who own assets, because all they need to do is to maintain those assets. They don't have anything to do really, and they'll still get richer. It will increase their net worth. They'll make more money. Now the next thing I'd do is I'd start to save up some money, again, to buy education. You don't want to save money just for the sake of saving money. It is never going to make you rich. It never made anyone rich, and it certainly won't be the case for you. We're not like the people who say, oh, I'm gonna save $5 a day by not taking my Starbucks latte and one day I'll be rich. Yeah, sure, if you want to be rich at 80, how do you know you'll even be alive then? I will also not start a product-based business. Forget about Amazon FBA, forget about dropshipping, especially those business models. Profit margins are insanely low. If you try to sell some like crappy lamp that you saw on AliExpress for $50 because it's Valentine's Day, I mean really, if you manage to make sales, you're gonna make sales for Valentine's Day, but then the rest of the year you're not gonna make any sales. And let's say you find a product, a piece of clothing, you try and sell it with your dropshipping store. You don't have money for ads, so you use TikTok to promote your products. Just because you make a couple TikToks doesn't mean you're gonna make money. A lot of people, they're not gonna buy your products. Most people have seen the way that they consume short form content. They scroll, they don't pay attention to what you have to sell. Now don't get me wrong, you can make money with it, but you would need dozens of millions of views every single month. So good luck. I would also not sell digital products. Now digital products, online courses, mentorships, programs, they have very high profit margins. It's completely true. However, if you wanted to create an online course, first you need the expertise to teach something. You don't want to teach something you haven't done yourself. And then you would risk investing months of your time, sometimes even a year, to build the online course. And then you need to find people to sell it to. So you either need to run paid advertising or to have a big audience to monetize it. If you don't have money, you can't go to paid ads. If you don't have a big audience, it's gonna take years to build. Instead, what I'd do is I would go straight to selling services, but I would do it in a smart way, not the way that you think. Because if we just sell services, at some point we're still trading our time for money. We can only take on so many clients at a time. We can't do everything in 24 hours. If you do all the work yourself, you're basically a glorified freelancer. Instead, the way that we sell services, we get a customer, close the customer for $1,500 up to $10,000 per deal, and we pay the contractor and they do the work for the customer. We keep a part of the profits. And that is your ticket to freedom. That's the same business model I started, and that allowed me to to live the kind of life I've been able to live today. Now, if you'd like to learn exactly how you can start selling services online today, I've recorded a free guide in which I really go in depth and I explain everything. And you're also going to get access to the 3-step process that you can use to start your business today and get your first customers as quickly as possible. It's the first link in the description below. Now, if you'd like to join a private community of highly dedicated entrepreneurs and you want to learn how to make some serious money online, if you want to learn more about it, it's the second link in the description below. With that said, as always, I'm waiting for you on the other side.